It was 3 months prior to camp. A kid ran up to me down the main street of Lilydale, and he comes up to me and says, "Hey Pete, it's only 93 days to camp." We chatted for a minute and I went home and I checked, and it was right. It was 93 days to camp. He'd obviously been before, and this was going to be like the highlight of his year.
I ended up on camp for when I was 7. I went on 4 camps and then eventually lost touch, went to high school, life happened, and when I was about 15, 16, I decided to reach back out and ask if I could come back on camp as a leader. Having a week of solid good feelings saved the hope in my childhood.
It was definitely one of the best things that I'd ever done as a kid. Doing camp, being a camper was even just for those 3 years, it was just fun. There was never any time when it wasn't. So to come to a camp and just have fun and not have to worry about anything else.
At Southern Cross, we say we deliver hope by giving a week of happy memories to the kids who come on camp.
The Southern Cross Kids Camp grabs these kids that don't just have a little bit of need, they have a lot of need. And we do everything we can in that week. We just keep pouring into these kids to fill that need. And the way I see it, you kind of take a year of love and attention and cram it into 5 days.
Each child, of course, has their own special buddy who really looks after them. One person really concentrates on them and what their needs are for one whole week.
When you ask children what the best thing about camps is, they will always tell you the best thing is having a buddy with me for 5 days. It's not the kayaking, it's not the craft, it's not the singing, although they do like all those things. It is having that adult with them to be their friend and companion for an entire week.
It's definitely a challenge, but it's a challenge that I think someone really does need to take on.
Let's just look at what the needs are, and what they need is love. Just to be able to know that you're safe, that you're cared for, that you're loved is something that most of us take for granted. But that's not an everyday occurrence for them. And so to give them a space where they are free to just be kids, it's life-changing.
The difference it makes coming from the first day of camp all the way to the end, some of these kids go miles.
They change from, the kid who could not regulate themselves at all to then at the end, and they're actually being able to tell you what they need, how they're feeling. It's just like, who are you and what did you do with that kid?
Camp is like family. All the different staff members, all the different buddies, the way they approach camp is because they want to be here. It's because they want to be here for the kids, and therefore we're able to bond together and gel together.
No, I don't get paid to do this. I do this because I want people to feel the love that I feel. I want to love on them as much as I get loved on.
It really is a great supportive team that's there helping the buddies and the kids to have a great time.
It's not just they go to the camp and then they'll forget about the things that happen, but the things become embedded in them.
That they are important, they are loved, they are valuable, they are special, they are precious.
I feel like I just came to camp and I didn't have to care about my brother and sister in the way of I didn't have to be like a mum to them, but that I could just be cared for, and in that I could just be loved and I could just be a kid.
This camp provides sort of a sliver of hope to show them that, the world is not as scary as we think out there. And these kids, some of them, don't get the same love that we do. And the fact that we're able to share it, that's just beautiful.
One of the things that Southern Cross gives kids, I think, is hope. And we know that if someone, a child or an adult for that matter, has hope, the future is inevitably brighter.
So while 1 week, it is a short time in a kid's life, in a year, it is a big, impactful short time. And it's really, really important that 1 week changes everything in a kid's life.
And we can put those seeds of hope in those kids. It's just going to ripple. It's going to impact their lives, the families they live with, their own families, and it's just one of those things that just grows and grows.
We are determined to make sure these kids have the best week of their life.